media. You can upload the software, the new version. You can do data in data out from the machine. I don't recommend you to copy from machine to another machine to get the same result. This is something that is not that perfect. Copy from a machine to another machine, whatever is customization, which is screensaver, I don't know, icons, videos will do 100%. Quality in the cut, you need always to tune in to adapt. Okay?
Always on the machine.
You can copy from a machine to another machine, but you need to adjust it. They don't be sure that it will give you 100% the result you are getting on the machine you copy the data from. The PGS, we already explained it, the PGS is the perfect grinding system, but it's not perfect. It's a grinding control. We call it perfect, but it's just a grinder control system, which is a little bit surprised that you face some problems with the PGS. I will try just to verify some details with the software department because it's million algorithm with my colleagues to understand the software version you have here, why it's giving this anomaly, and why in UK where we have more than 800 machines installed S60, and all of them is with PGS activated. Okay, but good that you detect something which is we feel is not doesn't deliver result when you try to.
Because I talked to this guy who's coming from UK. But they have stuff here coming from UK.
Okay.
But they are not concerning about the time of sleep.
Okay.
But here, all the staff, all the operation here, they are focusing on the time.
So the guy from UK, what he told you, sorry?
The guy from the UK, so what they are doing is they are not most focused on the timing.
Quality in the cut.
As long as the coffee brew and provide me the quality of the coffee, never mind the time.
Correct.
But for them here, they are focusing on the result and they are focusing on the timing. So it's a little bit complicated for them. That's why if there is a difference between 20 to 60, automatically they will
22?
20, yes, to 26.
26.
That's
Okay, if it's out of 26 or below
out of 26, automatically they will tell you. Below 20, they will tell you. It's like they don't have the. It's like.
Then you set the perfect dose at 23. Then you have plus and minus 3. I don't know if to have the dispense time is an inconvenient because I know some of our dealers in other countries they just hide it in the program. You can set the machine to do not display.
We hide that
Now they know
before.
already about
Now
it.
they know already.
Now they know.
You cannot hide it.
You are right. Maybe in the future with other clients.
Other client, yes.
But they must understand that there is no perfection. If you set the machine on a dispense time of 23 as a perfect espresso, in my opinion, if it goes even plus or minus 5, still acceptable. Because the grinder is not 100% consistent. If you fill up the coffee beans over maybe the flow of the beans, it's a little bit faster.
I noticed also this, if the beans is in the neck.
If it gets stuck, you will get less quantity going to the grinder, then it will be faster.
But if you have more heavy food, it's more heavy,
More flow.
then it's more better.
If they have some leftover coffee from yesterday, for example, if the coffee is exposed to humidity, then the next day for sure the extraction will be different. When you brew a fresh coffee just open from the coffee bag, it's not the same as coffee was there in the coffee over from 24 hours ago. How many kg do you do per day? 4 kg per day. How many kg they consume per day?
I don't have idea how many kilo they are consuming.
Okay, we can check in the telemetry because normally 1 kg we are talking, let's see, approximately 100 grams or a little bit less because single espresso is minimum, I think you are in 10 grams for single espresso minimum.
14 grams.
Yeah.
Now they put it all. 14 grams.
All 14 grams for single espresso. Anyway, but again from UK, I think we understand the business that you should always focus on the quality of the cup, then keep monitoring the extraction time. Okay, QGS I will try to investigate and try to understand why they are important, because normally it's a good technology to keep the consistency in the cup.
I remember last time when we asked you first time online, when we activated with Mr. on the PDS. So that's the first time we activated, and that's the one we cannot get
Okay.
and then I goes back there, we just calibrate, and then we activate and we go again. And then a couple of days, it comes again.
Okay, let's go a little bit faster here. Then we have the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi for the IoT solution, which is a limited platform. I recommend you to try to discover it more. It will help you to analyze because if there is anything, any problem, you can understand what's the conditions with the machine before you go to the client. Then the same thing, if there is any problem, the machine will send you a notification. For example, we have some machines for some client which is connected to my access. Then if I go to my emails, you can see that I receive a notification, I receive an email from the machine, and it tells me what's the problem and what is the possible causes and what is the verifications to be done. As you know, the machines comes with two bits open. And another one small for the cat coffee, which is with only a small motor. It's not a grinder which you can use completely, just for small once you're chopping grind every day. As you know, the grinder motor is divided into the capacity of each is 1.2 gram. Installation. So here is the installation data, and I'm sure I don't think you have any problems about getting the required power, and in general you connect your machines on the three-phase, which is the standard factory setting. There is a possibility to convert, but if you have three-phase, better to connect it to three-phase power. Okay? Program passwords, those things, preset password. I think you know already those things. How we fill the boiler with water. So water from the line to the through valve. Then we have the EBC valve, which is the filling valve. Before and after the EBC valve, there is a small injector of 1 mm diameter. Okay, so if one day water doesn't go properly to the boiler, or pump is running, the machine is asking for water, but the water doesn't reach the boiler, means I need to check one of these injectors, either the one before or the one after, or it can be the storage valve, the EBC valve, which is not working, not operating properly. Let's go a little bit fast in these things. The group valve, you know already. It has an inlet and it has an outlet direction to the boiler to fill the boiler with water. Then we have here a connection for the gauge. Okay. When the pump is running, the gauge indicates for me the pump pressure. When the pump is off, it indicates for me the line pressure. This you know very well. If you detect that the pressure, the line pressure is not consistent, is not stable, you must install a pressure reducer. If the client wants a consistency in the cap, you must try to verify all variables can affect the extraction, can affect what's in the cap. One of those variables is the line pressure. If it's changing, it will reflect on the result or what's in the cap. And also try to verify about when this problem related to the fast postal extraction is happening, and they think you are facing more fast extraction than slow extraction, right? Then try to check with the operator if this is happening when the bean smoker is not full, or it's like it's a very small quantity or quarter quantities in the bean smoker. The group valve, we call it the group valve because it's an assembly of mechanical valves. What is those mechanical valves? We have the check valve or the non-return valve, which doesn't allow that the water goes back to the pump and goes back to the line and the water filter. And also we have on the same component, the same block, we have an expansion valve. Expansion valve is set from the factory at 12 bar. Okay, then once it reaches this high pressure, it relays the extra pressure out. The machine, it's a dual boiler machine, it's a multi-boiler machine, or it's a machine with two boilers. Okay, one boiler for steam and hot water. We call it service boiler. The capacity is 4 liters. Okay, but it's not totally full with water. It's quarter steam, and 1/3 steam, 2/3 it's water. Okay, it's made of stainless steel. It has an isolation. The heating element is a 3 heating element with a total of 1,800 watts. In the steam boiler, we are monitoring the steam pressure, so it's connected to pressure sensor. Okay, this pressure sensor works in a range between 0 to 2 bar. If there is any problem with that, you can easily detect in manual command. Okay. If it reaches more than 2 bar, automatically it's also a safety device which stops the heating on the machine and display an error code to tell you that we reach a normally high temperature in the boiler. Anti-vacuum valve is you know very well, or the anti-suction valve exists on all machines. The safety valve in the A60 is set at 2.3. Then we have the level sensor, you know very well. From here I empty the boiler in case I want to do some service in the machine, like changing the heat element, for example. The smart boiler technology, I will not spend too much time here, but smart boiler technology is an algorithm which is once you set 1.6, automatically the software calculates P1 and P2. P1 is a lower pressure than the set pressure but still acceptable. P2 is a pressure which is dangerous, not acceptable, it can affect quality. So if I fill the boiler with water, if the temperature drops down to P1, no problem, we continue filling the boiler till the water touches the level sensor. But if while we are filling the boiler with water, then the temperature or the pressure reach the P2. P2 is a temperature which is not acceptable to the coffee or is not acceptable for steam. Then we stop, we close the way for the water, continue heating up till we reach at least P1, then after that we continue the rest quantity of water to fill the boiler. In some locations where you think that the water line it has gases, you can activate an option which is restore cycle, which restores cycle every time we fill the boiler or fill the boiler with water. Hot water, I want just to remind you something very important here. It's related to that balance between the water going into the boiler and the water coming out from the boiler. If one day the client is complaining that the water or the steam from the machine is a little bit watery, and the pressure you set, normally the machine is 1.5, 1.6, or more than 1.2. The level sensor is working properly, but it's still happening this because every time the operator press or use the hot water, there is a quantity go into the boiler and the quantity of hot water goes to mix with the hot water to come out. If it's not balanced, I will start to push more water inside the boiler than what I get out. And after multiple use, the level of the water inside the boiler will get higher. This mainly can be caused because this part here or this hole here is not clean. Okay? Remember something that in this circle of the hot water we have 3 injectors. Okay? In case you do some service and maintenance or you open the machine or you open in the hydraulic circuits of hot water, pay attention to these 2 injectors. They look the same. The 1 mm and 125 they look the same. Don't put in the opposite position because it can create some problems. Can create some problems. For example, the automatic rings after each milk dispense will be more quantity of water. For example, if in place of 1 ml will be 1.5. Let's go fast. Turbo steam, you know already how it works. As I mentioned, the machines with Pretamoji, it's not a turbo steam, it's just a manual steamer with a temperature sensor. Yes, if after some time it's recommended to change, which is something really planned on the preventive maintenance. Turbo steam you don't have, but you know very well how it works. You know how to switch off the heating element of the machine. So in case you want to use the boiler, there is an option here, manual command, which is boiler. Once it becomes green, automatically the heating element is deactivated and the little sensor is deactivated. So this is just a quick reminder. If you open the expansion valve, you need always to set it back at 12 bar. To set it back at 12 bar, you need to increase the pressure from the bypass pump head to 12 bar. Then with the screwdriver you open and you close. Once you start to see there is 1 drop is coming out every 1 second, means you are in the correct adjustment, which is 12 bar, then you fix it on that position.
Switch. You always open the expansion valve.
You must, because the expansion valve, you need to change the spring, you need to change the gasket or the O-ring here after some time. If you change it, you need to set it back. This is applicable for all the machines, traditional and automatic. If you set it, for example, by mistake at 9 bar, it will be a problem. Every time you draw coffee, there is water will go to the drainage. Okay, if you set it more than 12 bar, it's a problem because the hydraulic circuit or the coffee circuit doesn't resist to a pressure higher than 12 bar. It means that all the pipes can explode, can open. So it's not possible that it can let the water go in, it will not stop the water properly. and also the heat exchanger doesn't resist to higher pressure than 12 bar. Then how to set it is very simple. As I mentioned, you go to the pump, you increase the pressure, look at the gauge, and once it reaches 12 bar, you start to open and close this adjustment on the expansion valve. Once one drop is coming out, everyone sees it during the first adjustment. Then you lock it in that position, then you decrease again the valve pressure to 9. The coffee circuits. Okay, and here we can, because today we have more situation and problem to discuss and try to detect what's the problem. I collected some of the information what you already mentioned. During my visit, I tried to analyze maybe from a different angle, and we go into it deeper to try to understand why this machine is not consistent and it keeps changing the adjustment between today and tomorrow. One of the variables you mentioned and we need to verify is the line pressure stability, if it's consistent or not. If it's variable, if it goes, as you mentioned, from 2 to 4, yes, this can affect the quality in the car because it affects the pre-infusion time, or it affects also the dose of water I'm using during the pre-infusion. The coffee circuit, so from the line to the pump, to the group, to the group valve, or this assembly of mechanical valves, out from the group valve to the flow meter, okay, from the flow meter to the coffee boiler, because we say the machine has two boilers, one dedicated only for steam and water, and separate boiler dedicated only for coffee. Hot water goes to the group valve, the three-way group valve. There is an injector of 0.6 mm. Then after that, water goes and we go the coffee from up to down. Flow meter, you know already how it works. Then here is our coffee boiler. So it's an element of 1800 watt. A boiler is rated for energy efficiency, and the capacity of the coffee boiler is 1 liter. 1 liter compared to how many liters for the service boiler? 4 liters. So 1 for the coffee and 4 for steam and hot water. Here is the inlet and the outlet, and here we show the temperature sensor we simulated. This is something we explained in the past. The temperature control sensor is MPC type, and to empty the boiler is from the bottom of the boiler using a wrench, not 18. There is something you can set in the machine program for the coffee boiler, which is related to the temperature. Okay. When you set the temperature, there is low temperature. Okay, and there is high temperature, high boiler temperature and low boiler temperature. Do you remember it on the programming? No? I take you to the simulator.
There is there is maximum.
Yes, there is the high boiler temperature and there is the low boiler temperature. And there is a parameter also to set, which is we call the period of time, or the usage and interval of time. Means if I set the lower boiler temperature at 90, okay, and they set the period of time is 10 minutes, the boiler will maintain a temperature of 90, but after 10 minutes will raise it up to 95. Okay? This is the high boiler temperature. Why we raise it up to 95, for example? Because we know that the machine is inside a location where it's exposed to DC exposed to around temperature. So to compensate the waste of temperature or the energy waste that will lose during the way from the boiler to the brewing unit, we try to compensate and raise the temperature by 5 degrees C to try to in the end when the water reach the brewing unit will be approximately at 90 degrees. Here is the summing valve or the groove valve. The groove valve has the in and out. Okay. Here basically it's the mix. So here we have hot water inlet. Then the outlet is the mix between cold and hot water. Okay. There is machines with the thermodrive, which is in this line. You can decide the flow of the water to adjust the output or the temperature of the water going to the brewing unit. This here is very important, and here to explain to you clearly about what happens during the pre-infusion. Okay, so when the pump is off, the water is able to pass inside the pump, right? So with the machine off, even the water is able to pass inside the pump and go direction to the coffee boiler. The pre-infusion time is set in seconds in the machine. What is this pre-infusion time? This pre-infusion time it corresponds to a delay of pump activation, right? So if I set 2 seconds pre-infusion time, means the pump will not make less espresso, it will work with a delay of 2 seconds. Okay? During these 2 seconds, I get a certain quantity of the water to do the pre-infusion. If the pressure is high, I will get more water than if the pressure is low. So here, if you think the solution will be to install pressure reducer, in case just to prevent from the machine from pressure higher than 4 bar, it can be a solution also to keep the coffee consistent. So during the pre-infusion, the pump is off for some time, but the G valve is open. Means the water will pass inside the pump, will go to the boiler, come out from the boiler, the G valve is open, and I do my pre-infusion. After 2 seconds, the pump will start and I will start the blue line with the 9 bar. Yeah? We go now to the group. What are the problems you have with the group?
The most common eaten.
Huh?
The most common eaten.
Understand? Yeah? What you did?
Actually, one time, like we discussed the first unit, the connection, the terminals.
Okay, I mean, this is what the problem or something else? So you change the sensor?
During the time, no, we don't change the sensor. During the time, we just arrange the connection, the connectivity of the 2 terminals. This is 3 terminals, but there is a 4 holes. Socket. The socket.
Okay.
So that's the one.
And what's kind of fluid or what?
It's like it's not contacting properly.
So there is loose connection between the two, the socket.
And you replace it?
No.
We just fix it because that one it's like melting wheel, right? So when we put it, we have to push both terminal
Okay.
in for that.
So what you did? You cancel it or what?
No, we don't cancel.
Okay.
It's like we just the terminal itself. It's like pinching a little bit so that when you put it, you will feel that it's like it's sliding. It's holding.
Okay. So here we can see the group cafe or the brewing unit. This brewing unit, as you know, it's the piston or it's upper and lower piston. Both of them are moving in a vertical movement. And here we have a carousel which is rotating or on rotating table. The working phases, I think you are familiar also with the S54 in the past.
53.
53 was with micro switches.
Yeah.
Here we are using magnet sensors or we are using photocells. Okay, and we are using three photocells in magnet switch. The brewing unit, it has a heating element in the upper piston and also a heating element in the lower piston. Okay, and they show you what is the difference between both of them. For sure, the use that we want to keep the brewing unit warm in a certain temperature. Here it's no problem if you set the temperature a little bit high. If you set it like, I don't know, 90, it's not a problem. It's not like in S20 we just set it in a lower temperature, maybe around 75 to 80 degrees. Yeah, but here it's fine if you think you want to increase a little bit. I don't remember if it's in the document of Britannia if we mentioned the temperature of the brewing unit or not, but you can set it at 90.
It's like 90.
Sorry?
90.
No, it doesn't matter coffee because the water temperature what we use to brew the coffee is higher than 90. We go at 92 or 93. Then we already mentioned about the infusion or pre-infusion. We can adjust it by changing the pre-infusion time. How it's managed? It's managed, as we mentioned, by a delay to start the function. We don't
Here.
have internet.
I just want to ask something. On this brewing unit on the carousel, there is that a photocell or magnetic? The safety.
It's in the top.
Yeah,
Top
photocell. So there is a chance that it will stop the brewing unit once there is a coffee powder deposit on that area.
the one in the top.
Yeah.
Yes, it's possible because if there is any coffee between the photocell, means the bracket is there, means the unit is under wrong position.
So it will saying it will show you.
It will give you an error.
You
Yeah,
can.
it will give you an error. But I didn't face this problem till today. That the photocell, the one in the top, which is
Yeah.
used for it, it's only about giving a certain position for the tablet to go in.
Just only for the tablet.
Only for the tablet. It's a cleaning position.
Okay.
That's why we are using that photocell. But you are right. If there is anything goes inside the photocell, it will cause. But the machine will think that the chamber is not in a correct position
Yeah.
to pour the coffee. Then for sure it will give an error.
Because it will give it can give also error on that.
It will give an error. It will give an error because if there is two photocells are detected on the same time, it will give an error. For example, the one in the top, there is something dirty and is giving green signal on the manual command. Then there is the FC1 or the FC2 also giving green signal. So it will give an error.
Okay.
Upper piston. The upper piston is heated with a heating element or a resistance, and there is a double O-ring. I'm sure you have it as a spare part.
Yeah.
This is very important. It's very
It's
important.
very
This-
frequent.
Sorry?
It's very fast. Especially the
After maybe you need to replace after 20,000
20,000 cycles.
Yes.
But I think it's not even 2 months or less than 2 months. I see the upper piston, the gasket is already worn out.
Already damaged. By the way, if there is anything also a problem with this gasket
Yeah.
or this O-ring, you can also give earth and because any obstruction, anything
The movement.
giving a resistance and the motor will absorb a higher voltage than normal can also give error then. Normally, the life of this gasket is longer than what you mentioned. Yeah, you need always to verify because also if there is any leak from the top, it will affect your consistency in the car.
Yeah.
Whenever, because we are losing that pressure, then for sure the quality will not be consistent.
I noticed that also because we have a case, remember the cake watery?
Because of
When the
what
time we
you-
change the new one, it comes the cake, very fine, very nice.
Yeah, because we lose pressure from the side, so the water is not pushed to go to the spout, and it remains inside the coffee cake. Yes, I'm agree with you. This is one of the reasons can cause that the coffee cake is not dry. Whatever the changes, because we are losing pressure from the lower or the upper piston. The lower piston. So the lower piston also there is some preventive maintenance to be conducted time to time. So we have also a double gasket, and we have this part which is when you dismantle it, just pay attention to put it back in the correct position. The spring, I don't think you need to replace them for now, but after some time, as part of the preventive maintenance program,
It's included.
you need to. Sorry,
It's included in the maintenance program, the spring.
I'm trying to remember in which year, but for sure it's not in the first or second year. It's not.
Okay.
I'm just trying because really I'm not sure if it's included in one of the kits or not. If you see or you remark that it doesn't bring back the lower piston fast to normal position, maybe it's the time also to replace. One of the causes, one of the possible causes for error 10 can be also related to the lower piston. Means you know
Because
that
it's pushing down.
you know that we have the top, it's a rotating table. If the edge of the lower piston stay up and the rotating table is trying to go to the next position, if it detects any resistance, it will cause that the machine will detect that there is something blocking the movement and will display also the error panel. So always verify that the edge of the screen shower for the lower piston is on the correct level with the rotating table. It's not come a little bit up, or during the cycle the piston doesn't go back
On that
on time.
on that motor amperage with the brewing unit, on the manual command you can see or not?
Yes, you can check
Oh, we
on
can-
the edge, yes.
We can see from the manual.
Yes, while you are doing a mechanical movement,
Yeah.
you can check how many amperes is absorbed by the motor during that.
That's good.
If it's empty, you will absorb less. If there is any obstruction, you can detect that there is a normal absorption of the amperage from the motor. Okay. Then the lower and the upper piston, we already mentioned about the two heating elements and the temperature sensor.
Yeah.
The piston in the top, I can set the temperature because I have a temperature sensor, so I can adjust it from the program.
Good.
The lower
Urgent.
piston, we have also a heating element of 1000 watt, but I cannot change the temperature. It's already monitors, already controlled by the thermostat, which is cut off at 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the lower and the upper piston. Regarding the motor, regarding the brewing unit, regarding the photocell or the sensors, the motor is 24 volt, 55 RPM, and it has a thermal protector or thermal protection of 110. Means if it becomes hot, if it reaches 110, it will cut off the power, it will protect the motor. What is the amperage, normal amperage, the motor absorb during coffee cycle? This I will tell you once we are downstairs. What is normally the range of the power of the amperage absorbed by the motor when we dispense a coffee with a maximum quantity of coffee can be accommodated inside the chamber. As we mentioned, the FC2, FC1 is the upper state limit. FC2 is the lower state limit, and we have another sensor which is called FC3. FC3 is the table position, or for the tablet position that the unit will take to give the possibility to put the tablet and it goes directly to the brewing chamber. Okay, I don't know if you remember that, but it's not a position which is the standard that the piston can go inside the chamber, but it's just like a 45-degree position, only for the tablet or during when you activate the wash. I'm not sure. I remember I shared these videos related to the brewing with Hassan. Then I will ask him to share it with you. It's very important to know how you adjust the tension of the movement of the rotating table. There is a special accessory which is, I think, maybe you have. Then there is a video which is explaining exactly what should be the movement and how to lose it or tighten it when it's required. When you feel that movement, it's very light, or the movement is very hard. Then you do this adjustment when it's required. It doesn't mean it's required with a new machine. After some time, if you feel that there is something wrong with the mechanical movement, then you need just to try to readjust by using this special tool. Sometime maybe you will face with the S60 that the piston doesn't go inside the chamber properly. And while going inside the chamber, maybe touch the edges of the chamber. If you are in this situation, there is a way how you can adjust the position. You did it before?
No. So far, still.
Yeah, there is a technique which is very simple. There is nothing complicated in it. If one day you feel or you hear a sound when the piston is going to the chamber that is touching one of the edges, this can also give an error because there is an obstruction of the movement. There is something which will make the motor absorb high amperage, then it will give this error on the display. So if you detect that the piston doesn't go properly without touching the chamber edges, you can use the wrench, then you can tune it again, you can adjust the movement or adjust that the piston goes inside the chamber without touching anything. Lower piston. The lower piston, there is an adjustment here from the bottom of the lower piston. And we mentioned that there is two situations you will face with the lower piston. Even the lower piston is coming, or the shower screen, or the top of the piston is coming like a lower position compared to the rotating table. And this can cause some inconvenience related that every time you dispense coffee, there is a quantity of urine inside. If there is a quantity of urine inside, it will make the brewing units dirty. That also can affect also the quality, can affect the consistency from the machine. There is another situation that the shower screen or the lower piston is going in a higher position than the rotating, than the bottom of the rotating table. Then every time there is a rotation, it will touch those edges and it will get stuck and it will display an error. So to adjust, you need just to go here in the bottom, and there is a nut which is you can just open and close to come out with an adjustment that the shower screen is aligned with the bottom part in the rotating table, or the fixed part under the rotating table. Water added, this you know already. It's for Americano. So I can add water before, I can add water after, or I can add water and they keep dispensing the coffee which is before it will start. The meaning of water added or water start means that I dispense first coffee, then after that I continue dispensing water and coffee on the same time that I reach the quantity I want in the camper. Bread, they don't have Americano, or they have selection Americano?
They don't have Americano. They just strong. They just put strong. Which is can be brewed up to 28 seconds.
So when the machine is with the thermodrive, we have here a mechanical regulator to adjust the flow of the water. Then we have also here a thermodrive sonolet valve. Okay, and they can set the time for this sonolet valve to be activated from the machine software. So here is the thermodrive. So thermodrive, you can see here there is a sonolet valve and there is this adjustment, which I can adjust this regulator to set the temperature under foot 4. One for the round is plus or minus 1 degree C. When you start to fill the boiler, there is something we call check boiler. So there is a small quantity of water will come from the spout, just to ensure that there is a signal coming from the flow meter that the water is going direction to the boiler. Here a small exercise about quality, how we can set a single espresso and how we can set an Americano. As you know, in the machine, the S60 we have for the coffee washers we have two types. We have something we call short coffee wash. Short coffee wash is done with hot water. The duration it takes 2 minutes only, and we consume half liter of water. If the customer is performing the short group wash, it's not considered as a cleaning. Okay?
It's like a
The machine normally require 1 coffee cleaning per day. Okay, if by mistake he is performing short group wash, it's not counted in the machine as a cleaning. He must perform a group wash.
What about the complete?
Sorry?
Complete group wash?
Group wash takes the time.
Yeah, because you have option there, I think 3, with a complete group wash.
Complete when the machine has, for example, coffee separate and milk separate.
Okay.
And if it's S30 or S20, we can talk also about about chocolate or S15. So complete wash means include all the cleaning. But if your machine is the one with pré-à-manger, which they have only the coffee system, they don't have milk separate, right? So complete wash means only group wash. Yeah, it takes the same time, 7 minutes, and 2 liters of water, and you require tablets. نمت ولا بعد؟
معك الحمد لله.
ها؟
معك الحمد لله.
متأكد؟
متأكد.
معايا ولا طلعنا؟
لا معك.
اوكي، شو اخبارك؟
الحمد لله.
كل بخير؟ الحمد لله.
Pinabos, isinan ko yun.
وين حسين؟
برا شغال برا حسين.
Turuan mo na lang ako, boss.
Next, here is the grinders. Right? Here you will have some questions. You will watch this video after? Tonight? Very good. So,
I have to take it because we are preparing him for prep.
okay.
That's why I put him
But
there.
don't watch the video in front of the client. Get them on coming from the toilet. When you watch it, then you come back. Oh, don't worry. Once you are out of the machine, you send me a call. I can take over the remote control. I did it with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you was front of the machine. So this is a new technology.
On that they have a button now. They have a button for
I activate it.
you just press that one.
Not in all the machines. Only in that one because I need it. I give you the necessary to call me.
Yeah. So once I press, it means that I calling you.
Yeah, but don't call me because I will not see it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the remote
Makadams naman
control.
pa na.
Is 1 year ago we did a collaboration
Pull out
with
sila.
TeamViewer.
Yeah.
Oo.
So we included the TeamViewer in our software. So now if you are in a situation which is you would like to understand more details, I just send me the call. Then I take the remote control of the machine. I can check everything. Because there is some information that I cannot, it's not accessible through the telemetry. Since I want to test through the remote control, I can do it, but through telemetry, I cannot do the test live on the same time.
Without somebody in front of the machine.
I need always a technician in front of the machine. Then I can extract you. Normally, you should also work with your mobile. This we did not use that day because we didn't have time. So you have to keep your mobile facing the machine with the camera. Then I instruct you in your mobile also. I can put like arrows. I can show you where to open. I can show you what to verify. So this is something we usually implement. For now, it's the license is only with us as a factory, but very soon we'll be also with the distributor. Means if your colleague who is new, for example, is not on the machine, you feel that there is something which is not clear and you require more details, you can just ask him to send a call to you. Then you take over the control on the machine. Then his mobile to show you the situation there. You can instruct him.
What is happening? With that, if you touch the telemetry, like this time you're here. If you check, there is no happening there while you are looking for the.
I can check what's the situation there now.
Yeah, without interrupting them there.
No, if I check in the telemetry, I will not interrupt anything.
Okay.
If I take the remote control, I will stop their machine.
Oh.
If I want to do any work in
It's
their
like
machine,
changes
remote
for
control, because they will see what I'm doing. The day when you was from the
Yeah,
machine, you
okay.
can see I'm changing and doing this
Exactly.
and that. But in the telemetry, they will not see anything, nothing will be interrupted, they will not see no notification, nothing. So
Yeah.
for example, if you want to set the wash program at a different timing, you will set it, they will not say nothing. But when it's reached 12 o'clock, the machine will ask them to perform the cleaning. So this will not stop any operation, nothing.
Yeah.
The remote control, that day when you was front of the machine, I have two possibilities, either to let you see what I'm doing, or to hide and just give you a notification that we are doing some work. But that day I leave it open to show you also what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But you can also hide, so the client will not see the technical password or something. So for the grinders, right? And here we have the problem. The grinders, it's a three-phase grinder motor, 120 volt. Okay. Rotation speed 1370 RPM. It has also a thermal protection at 130 degrees, and it's connected to an inverter for sure. Then we have the blade adjustment motor. Okay. Don't feel sleepy because me, I woke up at 4, so I can sleep, you still awake. So blades adjustment motor. The power supply is 24 volt. Okay, it has an encoder for the blade's position. And the minimum variation of the blade distance is 5 micrometer. This is not a very important, I don't know, for you as information. The blades, you told me that there is some problems with the blades. The blades, the life of those blades is 2 tons and a half. It's grinding 2 tons and a half, then it's the time to change it. Okay, so if the client also asks you when it will to be replaced, it's if they do 4 kgs per day, you will understand the correct time to replace the blades, and it has a very good high productivity. So this blade, this grinder, can has a production of 4 grams per second. Okay. The motor rotates in both directions.
Clockwise
And
and counter.
clockwise, and rotate also counterclockwise. Okay. The grinder body it's two independent chambers. The material is made of aluminium, okay, and it has a coating or treatment. Here you need to focus more to understand how it works, the grinder. So, here is the grinder motor, and here we have the chamber, free well for MD1 or grinder 1, and free well for grinder 2 and grinder 1. When we change the direction, only one side can grind, because when it's rotating on clockwise, for example, that spring will drive the beans to the grinding chamber. Okay, and the rotation direction for that burst design can grind, but the other one, in that direction, it doesn't grind. It doesn't drive also the coffee beans to the chamber, grinding chamber. Pay attention with the springs. Okay, the one for MM1 is different than the one for MM2. If you do the opposite, it's a big problem.
It will not grind both of them.
Maybe it will get damaged, because like recently it happened in Jordan. One of the technicians, he opened the grinder to clean, but he didn't pay attention that these two springs are different. So when you put it in a wrong position, there is a possibility to not grind, and there is another scenario it can get damaged. If it's worked for a long time and pay attention to that, it will get damaged. Okay, not only the spring, and also you must pay attention to the burrs. The burrs or the blades also has different design. This one is this side or right. Sorry, it's this side, and the other one, the design is the opposite side. Look at here, this one is like this, and this one is this side. So the MM1, MM2 burrs are different. So always pay attention to that. With your grinder, you need to check this. The one is not grinding, you just open and check the conditions of the spring. You have it in stock?
I don't have idea, I have to check.
Okay, because was listed as a one of the spare part to keep in stock. And still this grinder is not working till now.
Yeah.
So they are operating only with MM2.
I just activated
MM1.
only MM1.
MM1.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's the spring. PGS. How it works. You want to smoke or something? No?
No, it's fine.
No smoking?
Nobody's smoking. There is one guy.
Dangerous to our health.
Water?
No smoking, dangerous
No, you
to
want to take a week?
No. For me, I'm fine.
Only one? Only two? B1, B2?
only water that kind,
Alkaline. Alkaline.
but not sweet, it's just this.
Ayan yung ano, tinan mo. Toast ng coffee.
Uy, yung fine pala sir, hindi pala siya yung fine na fine talaga. Ayun o, parang ano lang.
O, tapos kunin mo yung kilo niya, napakabilis.
Oo.
Okay.
Ayos lang sana kung ano.
Okay.
So
So,
pala yung ano yun, texture ng kape at saka
extraction. I understand Tagalog, by the way.
Correct. Fine.
You like it? So, grinding and extraction time, which reflects the quality in the camp. Coming out with the proper grinder sitting will help you to get good quality in the camp. Okay? As you know, course will the extraction will be fast.
Light,
The time will be
fast.
short. So course, fast, shorter time. Final, slow, longer time. But you need to come out with a granulometry which will give you a proper extraction time. Not very fast, not very slow. With a certain
Starts at 5 seconds.
Huh?
Coffee will drop at 5 seconds.
at 5
Then,
seconds.
then you can get good quality.
What do you mean by 5 seconds?
Dropping from the extraction will start dripping.
When you start dripping at 5 seconds,
Okay.
You can get
then
the
you can get the good result and the proper time.
and the extraction time.
When you start dripping at 5 seconds, it gives you good results
Yeah.
with A60.
This with A60.
What
This
is-
is the one I observed.
What is your pre-infusion time?
3. But that one we use for without pre-infusion.
Which one?
The 5 seconds. Yeah, 5 seconds. Once it's brewing the water for 5 seconds, then expected that the time is good and the amount of the water is correct, and even the cream.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, because
This is the one we observed with this unit. Because
okay.
because it comes
so
like
you said the pre-infusion at 3 seconds.
yeah.
Then once you start to see the first drip,
The first
of
drip
coffee,
at
it
5
comes
seconds.
5 seconds.
Yeah. When it comes at 5 seconds, then it will give you
The first
correct amount.
drip from the spout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it will give you the correct timing,
And the coffee
the result of the coffee.
cream also. It's good.
You will see it.
Okay, and how many grams of coffee?
14.
14.
14. And the granulometry is the same as the other machines?
Same.
And the coffee cake is dry in the end?
That's the question.
Sometimes dry,
Sometimes
sometimes
wet, sometimes dry.
What do you mean by sometimes in 10 espressos, what happened, for example?
In 10 espresso, that's the one they show you. Sometimes dry, break, it's not complete. Then sometimes you will see it's watery.
Okay.
But if it is watery, you cannot get the 5 seconds the coffee comes.
If it's water, you don't get the first drip at 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, what do you think it's the variable which is caused that the dispense is not consistent?
This is the one why we ask you.
Huh?
This is the one we want to ask from you.
Because you put your hand in the machine more than me. I'm limited on.
It might have you have some other secret key for that.
Secret key
Ah.
is the grinder setting,
Sarap.
correct pre-fusion, consistent line
Tin lang,
pressure.
tin
For that line pressure,
Tariko.
we are coordinating with them
Meron pa.
because there is a
Tin
fluctuation.
4, tin kid.
And it goes maybe from 2 to 4.
Yeah, from 2 to 4, sometimes below 2.
And this is in all
Surprise.
locations or only in that, with that machine?
In this location,
Basta gusto mo na ano.
Okay, how many machine is installed till now?
Walang
we have 4.
Walang
Four
tika.
machines.
Yeah.
Hindi na kailangan.
So it's two outlets.
2 outlets now. Yeah.
Each one with 2 machines.
2 machines.
Okay.
The other outlet, so far we didn't receive anything.
In both machines.
Yeah, in both machine.
Okay.
The only thing is the one we have in Subasagan.
Okay. And the problem in both machines or only one?
Only one, it's consistent on that case.
One is consistent, one is not.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's strange.
that's why. So it's strange.
That's
Because
why,
both of them are connected at the same, almost on the same conditions, right?
yeah.
Pray lang.
Coming from the washroom.
Kahit ako naiiyaw.
Hindi naman masyado.
Okay, kung ganun sir, yung